communicators. At this point, we would like to call on Very Reverend Albertus Herwanta Ocar, General Consular for Asia, Australia, and Oceania of the Carmelite Order, assisted by Father Christian Buenafe, to present the award to our first winner.
Tonight's first award is for leadership in community communication, in particular in the field of communication and literature, for journalists who best exemplify the spirit of unity, participation, vigilance, sustainability, and the effective use of communication in responding to local and national issues. Let's get to know this year's winner.
Is foremost an inspiring teacher who taught many young people to be proud of their own culture by exposing them to the works of outstanding Filipino writers. As an author and editor, her books have significantly contributed nation building by instilling an awareness and appreciation of our very own culture and literature. Moreover, through her newspaper columns and articles, she has always projected the image of the emerging Filipino as one who has the mind of a critical moderate and the heart of a committed modern-day Christian.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Asuncion David Maramba.
Anyway, dear Reverend Father Buenafe, Father Rosendal, Father Lopez, and Father Lacal, and all the family, the Carmelite family, right now with us. Professor Flor Angel Rosario Bray, Chair and members of the Titus Brandsma Award Philippines Board, members of the jury, my nominator, Sister Mary Jan Manansan, my endorsers, Miss Emily Abrera, Miss Dulce Baybay, and former Senator Rene Saguisa, and dear friends. All right now, I have a confession to make. I have never wanted an award so much as the Titus Brandsma. At the same time, I have never doubted receiving an award so much as this award. Why have I wanted this award? For anyone who has read my columns in the Inquirer, he will notice that for the past 6 years, more or less, almost 4 out of 5 of my columns deal with the institutional church, over which I became very curious, despite being, or perhaps because, I am a cradle Catholic. The institutional church became the thematic matrix of my columns in the awakened spirit of Vatican II. And three related topics evolved as, shall we say, my advocacy: adult faith, lay empowerment, and church renewal. The last being a euphemism that many of us retreat to when what we really mean or want is church reform. I was convinced that this writing, venturing into a vacuum that must be filled, was my strong suit and the area in which I could be of some help to socio-cultural change. I pursued my writings with sobriety, even when in some cases issues were clearly explosive. As a rule, I explain as mildly and simply as possible what I have to say and stand by it consistently, with some understatement, with innuendo, but without fireworks, such that some of my friends come to me and say, "Sonny, why don't you attack like the others?" At the same time, some friendly critics tease me, "So, you are attacking the church." Perhaps because what to my mind is simply updating of theological developments or clarifications seems to them already radical and disquieting. And so, on one hand, I have been accused of being heretic, Protestant, or overstepping the limits of the layperson. On the other hand, I get praise and thanks for talking about matters about which we generally are expected to remain silent. And so, when I read of the story of Blessed Titus Brandsma, which are incalculably and incomparably much more perilous than mine, I had the audacity to feel some kinship with him. And I said to myself, here is an award I would like to receive. In the twilight of my age, because that is where I am now, as some vindication of what I have been doing. But why, as I said in the beginning, did I doubt that I would ever get it? The answer was almost obvious. The award is under the aegis of a religious order. What chance did I have at all? My husband knew my doubts because he had to bear my mood swings. One moment I tell him, I am going to get that award. The next moment I say, I don't think they'll ever give it to me. Miss Carina Bolasco knew about my doubts. So did Emily Abrera, who, to cheer me up, texted me one after the other. Sonny, all you have to do is visualize yourself receiving the award. And then she'd say, have you prepared your dress? Is it Filipiniana? And so after being in limbo for several months, here I am, not just visualizing, but actually receiving the award. me publicly thank those who have walked me and walked with me through my writing. Eddie Duran Apostol, who first published me in Woman and Home way back in 1964, when our kids were babies and toddlers, and to whom I went back in 1983 after Ninoy was shot, firming my desire and decision to write again. Ambassador Bienvenido Tan of Bookmark for my first textbook, Philippine Contemporary Literature, now nearing its 50th year. Felix Bautista, who printed me sight unseen in Poor Manila, and then on to Veritas News magazine, where I started regular column writing up to its last issue in 1984. Here represented by his daughter, Tish Bautista. Brothers, Alfredo and Benjamin Ramos, who brought me into the world of National Bookstore, Cacho Hermanos, Solar Publishing, entrusting me with book commissions. Lorna Calo Tirol, for my break into the broadsheet and my 6-year weekly column in the Manila Chronicle. Karina Bolasco of Anvil Publishing for the books I have conceptualized and edited for more than a decade now. And Jorge Aruta of PDI for printing me since 1992 and whom I still have to meet. I received this award with deep gratitude. 2 days after the feast of Saint Teresa of Avila, the patron of Saint Teresa's, from where I got my college degrees, and my special patron too. She had her own battles to fight, the Inquisition no less. More than 55 years ago, I was a young college student celebrating College Day on her feast day at St. Teresa's. Who would think that today I would stand before the Carmelites, who are also children of the great Teresa of Avila, as was Blessed Titus Brandsma. I accept this award with deep gratitude. I receive it as an affirmation and a blessing for my work. For this blessing, I thank my nominator, Sister John Manansana, my 3 endorsers, Ms. Emily Abrera, Ms. Dulce Baybay, and former Senator Rene Saquisa, the members of the jury for the 2011 Titus Brandsma Award, the Titus Brandsma Award Philippines Board, the Carmelite Commission on Communication, the Commissary Council of the Order of Carmelites in the Philippines, and Blessed Titus Brandsma, up there or right here with us this evening. Thank you from the bottom.